Hi everyone, welcome back to another class with Anderson Language Center. I'm Bethany Anderson, and last Wednesday I was not with you because it was the 4th of July, so we took a little break last week, and I hope that all of you enjoyed your holiday. If you're here in the US, we celebrated Independence Day, the 4th of July. And I hope that you all got to rest and relax a little bit. Maybe have a barbecue or grill out. Maybe spend some time with your family or your friends. And maybe even see some fireworks, right? So my kids and my husband and I had a good 4th of July. We spent some time with our family. Hi, Sandra. Nice to see you. So we had a great 4th of July. It was very hot, so we were very, very hot outside. But we went to the swimming pool, and we just had a relaxing day. And then in the evening, we had a meal outside. We had a potluck. And if you know what a potluck is when everybody brings some food to share. So like I brought some cake, some people brought the meat, hot dogs, hamburgers, bratwurst. That's kind of the traditional 4th of July food. And maybe some people bring a salad. So my husband's family all got together. My mother-in-law, father-in-law, my brothers and sisters-in-law, and we had a potluck together. So that was fun, but also hot. And my kids did some fireworks, like some small firecrackers, not the big ones, but the small ones. And they had a lot of fun with that. Some sparklers, the little ones that you wave around. And then we went to see the fireworks, the big fireworks show. And everybody sat down on the grass by the river. The town we went to is right beside the Mississippi River, and so they have a boat in the river, or maybe on an island in the middle of the river, and they were shooting fireworks from there. So we enjoyed that. It was a beautiful fireworks display, and then the kids were very, very tired. And so then we went home. But it was a nice 4th of July. Oh, Sandra is saying that it rained where she was on the 4th of July. Bummer. That's too bad. That makes not so nice, not such nice weather for celebrating the 4th of July if it was raining. That's too bad. Well, I hope you could relax anyway and have some family time, maybe time with your friends, and some good food. Okay, so this week I want to start a new topic, and that is questions. And questions in English are one of the more difficult things for people, and people can get kind of confused about how to ask questions. So I want to start this week, and then we'll continue on for a few more weeks and talk about how can you ask different kinds of questions in English. So what I want to start with this week is talking about yes and no questions. And you might see me looking down. Sometimes that's because I have my notes here and I don't want to forget anything. I want to make sure that I explain very carefully, so I have my notes. If you see me looking down like this, it's because I'm looking at my notes. So yes and no questions. What are yes, no questions? Okay, you can probably guess that yes, no questions are questions that have the answer yes or no. Okay, for example, are you married? Okay, that's a yes or no question because the answer is either yes, I'm married, or no, I'm not married. Okay, two options, yes or no. So that's a yes or no question. What about how are you? Hi, how are you? Is how are you a yes or no question? No, how are you is not a yes or no question, because can someone say, how are you? And you say, yes. No, that doesn't make any sense, right? So how are you is not a yes or no question. So today we're going to start with questions that have an answer yes or no. Now, today I want to start with questions, yes or no questions, that start with the word do. Okay? Because this is one of probably the most common kind of yes or no question, starts with the word do. And you know, do has three different forms. You have do, does, and did. Okay, do is for I do, you do, we do, they do. Does is for he and she. He does, she does. Okay, and did is in the past when you're talking about the past. Okay, so do, does, did, these are all forms of do. Okay, so here's one example. Do you like to cook? The answer is yes or no. Do you like to cook? Yes, I like to cook. Or no, I don't. Okay, yes or no. So you see that the first word in that question is do. Do you like to cook? Do. Okay. So yes or no questions with do or does or did is the first word in that question. Okay? Es la primera palabra. Do, does, or did es la primera palabra en la oración, en la pregunta. Okay? So la pregunta empieza con do, does, or did. Okay. Now, a little explanation in Spanish here before we continue. Muchos de mis alumnos me preguntan qué significado tiene do, o does, o did en estas preguntas. ¿Qué significa? ¿Qué quiere decir do? Ok, no tiene significado. ¿ok? Es un poco difícil de entender, pero tiene función, pero no tiene significado en estas preguntas, ¿ok? En otras oraciones, en otros contextos, sí tiene el significado de hacer, right? Like, I do my homework, okay, hago mi tarea, I do my homework, pero en estas preguntas no tiene significado, okay, así que no se confundan con esto, porque no está diciendo nada con hacer, nada de eso, no tiene nada que ver, okay, es una función, okay, it's the first word in the question, okay, es para hacer una pregunta y nada más, okay, no tiene significado, solamente la función de hacer la pregunta. Okay, does that make sense? I hope so. So we start the question with do, or does, or did. It's the first word. Here are some examples for you. Do you go to bed early? Okay. ¿Te acuestas temprano? Do you go to bed early? The answer is either yes or no. Do you? Okay, we start. Do you go to bed? Does your husband go to bed early? Okay, there is does. Sandra says, yes, I do. Okay, good. That's good. You go to bed early. Sometimes I go to bed early, but usually not. I want to go to bed early, but not always. Okay. Does your husband go to bed early? Or does your daughter go to bed early? And then if we want to talk about the past, okay, something en el pasado, did you see the fireworks on the 4th of July? For example, I would say yes. Okay, did you? So the first word, did you? All of these are questions that have an answer yes or no. That's why they're called yes-no questions. Okay, so remember those three forms of do, does, did. And those will begin the question. Okay, here are some more examples. Okay, do you go grocery shopping every week? Do you go grocery shopping every week? Okay, every week, you say yes, I do, or no, I don't. Okay. Did you watch any movies this weekend? Did you watch any movies this weekend? The first word is did. Did you? Did you watch any movies this weekend? Okay, here's a question from Sandra. Okay, so the question is did is for all of the pronouns. That's a very good question. Yes, you are correct. You are correct. So it's a little strange. In English, we have, and let me explain in Spanish first for a moment. En el presente, cuando estamos hablando del presente, tenemos do y does. Okay? Do is I do, you do, they do, we do. Okay? Does is just for he and she, él y ella. Okay? So do is everything except he and she, and that's does. Does he? Does she? Okay, when we're talking about the past, en el pasado, todos usan did. So, exactamente como dijiste, did es para todos, okay? I did, you did, we did, he, she did, they did, everybody did, okay? It doesn't change, no cambia en el pasado, es solamente did en el pasado. Okay, does that make sense? Hopefully. So very good question. That's a good question. And people get confused, especially Spanish speakers get confused because in English, the verbs don't always change like they do in Spanish. But actually, once you learn it, it's easier. It's easier, right? Because just did for everybody in the past. Good question, Sandra. Thank you. And I love it if you have a question, if you ask, and even if you're watching this video afterwards when I'm not live, please ask your questions and I will be happy to answer. So here's another example. Does your son play sports? Or does your daughter play sports? Okay. En español, uno puede hacer una pregunta de la misma forma que cuando solo está diciendo algo, no en forma de pregunta. No sé exactamente cómo decir eso bien en español, pero por ejemplo, tu hijo juega o practica deportes, ¿ok? Es lo mismo para decir, tu hijo practica deportes, ¿ok? Yo sé que tu hijo practica deportes. Y en pregunta, forma de pregunta, ¿tu hijo practica deporte? Okay, the same words, right? So en inglés cambiamos la forma de decir algo cuando es pregunta. Tenemos que cambiar el orden o cambiar las palabras que usamos y por eso usamos do, does, and did. Okay, es para señalar que es una pregunta. Okay, so entonces en vez de decir your son plays sports, no, en inglés no se puede. Okay, tiene que usar does your son play sports? Okay, so es forma de señalar que, ok, esta es una pregunta. Estoy haciendo una pregunta. Por eso voy a usar do, does, or did. Okay. Let's see. I'm just looking at this question here. Okay. I'm not sure if this last question was something different para decir una frase con did. So did, yes, again, like we talked about, did you use with anyone? Like, did you go to the movies this weekend? Did he go to the movies this weekend? Did they go to the movies this weekend? Everybody, the same, did, okay? Did para el pasado, right? Okay, if you are feeling a little bit confused about this, I am going to put in the comments a book that maybe will help you if you want to get a book that talks more about the grammar of English, okay? So, aquí en los comentarios, después de publicar el video, voy a anotar la información de un libro que es muy bueno sobre la gramática del inglés y tiene ejercicios que tal vez puede ayudar un poco con este tema. Okay. So next week, today we talked about yes or no questions with do. Next week, I want to talk about yes or no questions that use different words, not do. Okay. La mayoría de esas preguntas, yes or no questions, van a usar do, does, or did, la mayoría. Pero también hay otras palabras que pueden empezar estas preguntas de yes or no. Ok, y el próximo miércoles vamos a hablar sobre las excepciones, ok, the exceptions, ok, otras palabras que puede aparecer también en este tipo de preguntas. If you would like more practice, you can send me a message and I will give you information for how to sign up for the weekly English challenge. If you are a member of the weekly English challenge, then I will send you a link to every video that I make and a little assignment to challenge you. Okay. And also when you get the link to this video, it's going to have some notes about everything I talked about to explain a little more. Okay, entonces si quieres inscribirte en el Weekly English Challenge, el reto de inglés, solo tienes que enviarme un mensaje o ponga un comentario aquí. También voy a anotar el enlace donde te puedes inscribir directamente para el Weekly English Challenge. Y eso va a ser una manera de practicar más. Ok, te voy a enviar el video de cada semana junto con una tarea que acompaña cada video. Ok. Si quieres practicar un poco más, puedes anotar unas preguntas aquí en los comentarios, unas preguntas de yes or no, ok? Yes or no questions, ok? Y si pongas una pregunta, yo te voy a decir si está correcto o si hay algo que tienes que cambiar. Entonces, para practicar, puedes escribir unos ejemplos de preguntas usando do, does, or did. ¿Ok? Alright, entonces la próxima semana, el miércoles, no voy a estar en vivo, sino va a ser un video grabado, pero va a ser el tema, va a seguir el serie de las preguntas y cómo hacer preguntas de yes or no. Okay, thank you for joining me today. I hope you have a wonderful week, and I will see you next week. Bye-bye.